Good morning, everybody. Slay here. I'm going to be taking out this Spitfire V DB 605, and I'd just like to start off this video with a question to everybody out there. Should premiums like this plane exist? And I will elaborate more on that as we go through. But yeah, let's just have a couple games of gameplay, see what this plane can do, and we'll see what kind of credit earning potential it could earn in the end, and go from there. So, going through the UK line, obviously, if anybody has played the UK line, you know that the Spitfires are just amazing. There really is no Spitfire that I would recommend not going through. I had a great time with that line, and now that I'm going down the UK heavy line, I'm actually starting to love that line too, especially the Hornet, which is where I'm at right now. But anyways, back to this Spitfire V DB 605. So this plane is almost identical to the line plane, the Spitfire V that's in the UK line, with one exception. It's got slightly, or two exceptions, sorry. It's got slightly less speed. The top speed of the regular Spitfire V fully upgraded is 640, and the top speed of this plane is 600. But where it kills, and I mean absolutely kills the Spitfire V non-premium aircraft, is the Spitfire V is capped out at 1400 altitude, while the 605 gets 2000. Now that's a huge difference. That means you can go chase those A-26s and other pesky Tier 6 bombers, where the Spitfire V is going to stall out because he's reached his altitude ceiling. You're just going to keep going. And mind you, this is all with fully upgraded features on the regular plane. So this plane is the equivalent of a fully maxed out Spitfire V without its altitude cap. It just keeps going. And I asked you guys, should planes like this exist? I mean, fundamentally, do you guys agree that there should be premiums out there that are essentially better than the actual aircraft that's in the line? I think it kind of disenfranchises the line and makes premiums a little bit more pay to win. I don't like using that term, especially in games like this, because you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink, right? So you can give a player the best plane in the game, and they're going to perform differently from other people. So I don't necessarily want to call it pay to win, but it definitely puts someone in the hands that they can be completely contesting, unless you're going to get rammed. But anyways, back to the 605. So I wouldn't be showing you this game if I don't want to call it a monster of a game. There's Anubis in his JU-88P. He's flying around grinding his attacker there. That's Anubis from HVAR. I believe in my next game I fly with Sarge Slaughter. Two amazing players. I mean, absolutely kill it in anything they fly. So always a pleasure to fly with these guys. So moving on to the 605, I mean, one, you're better than the line plane. Two, you get this fancy ass paint job where you're looking like a wolf. I can't really beat it. When I was stationed in Korea, the squadron we were in, the wolf pack, the wing, actually had this, the nose that looked almost exactly like that. That was our flag, so that's pretty cool. I saw that, I had to get it. But if you'll look here, I'm coming up on a Corsair right now, and look at my speed in a dive. I'm just catching him like it's nothing. He's going for Anubis. I'm trying to save him. I'm pretty sure I don't do it here, or maybe I do. I get a little bit of huge FPS drop there, actually. Wow, that is pretty nasty there. But look how this thing turns. I mean, the Spitfire V in the line, they have the same turning with an 8.6 on turn. So it's not the best turn, but it is damn good for its tier. Planes like this 190A5 are going to have absolutely no chance at turning on you. And just look how these guns perform. This is 420s and 220s. Or sorry, 4 machine guns and 220s. The Germans get 4, I believe, 7.62s, and the UK line gets 4 303s, which I think are the same guns statistically. And they both get the 220 Hispanos. But you have no problem in this plane just cleaning up. And here's where I was talking about. Well, I'm not going to go chase that bomber just yet. This Corsair turns towards me. Obviously, I have to deal with them. Corsair is a scary plane, and man, everybody likes ramming this thing. I'll tell you. I've gotten rammed so many times in this game. I mean, sure, I've got the maneuverability to turn away, but I really feel like a magnet when people are ramming me. Does anybody else ever feel like that? Do you ram things nearly as much as I do in a game? I'm sure you guys, if you're watching, you've seen a couple of my videos. I don't think I have a video out there where there's not a ram going on. And it 100% could be just me. But look at me just dominating this yak in his turn. I'm not even trying to do any kind of fancy flying there. I was just out turning him in every essence. And that sucks. That really sucks for the Yak 1M, you know. And finally that A5 comes in and gets me. And the A5 is a monster. If he's got a straight line on you, he's got so much guns that are just going to dominate you. And that's cool. You know, always die to attrition. But so far going on with this game, we have the missile base, 2 garrisons. They don't have their missile base yet. Anubis is doing a good job of just preventing them from having that right now. So it's pretty much a domination, and that's kind of what this plane does. I mean, that's really the best thing I can say about it, is this plane dominates in every aspect. It takes all the Spitfire 5's strengths, and it doesn't retain any of its weaknesses. You're a turn fighter at 2,000 meters at tier 6. If that doesn't make you want to buy this plane, I don't know. I'm not here to sell you planes. I've said this more and more times, but I just feel like I had to do this video. One, I have great games in this plane. This is just, you know, my average combat points in this game is probably somewhere around 12 to 13k in all the games that I've played in this plane. It's just a monster. If you want a plane that's going to print credits at tier 6, this is going to be the answer for you. Now, when I say print credits at tier 6, I don't have any other good tier 6 premiums. I mean, I have the A26, but playing a bomber at tier 6 is just nowhere near as fun as playing a fighter. There's so many good turn fighters at tier 6 that I feel like I enjoy playing a turn fighter at low tiers so much more. Whereas the RB-17, I mean, that thing obviously is in its own league when it comes to generating credits for doing next to nothing. But anyway, so this, you know, was my answer at tier 6. I was like, you know, I want to get something that it's going to be fun, it's going to be, you know, a good turner, it's going to be very engaging gameplay, and this is what it came down to. This was actually one of the latest premiums I got. I you know, waited to get this plane so long, and you know, I really regret waiting. Kind of suicidal there, going head on with a 410 in Squall, but it worked out for me. I've noticed lately that bots tend to not ram you. When I say not ram you, I mean heavies on a, you know, on an incoming like that. In a head-on with a heavy back in the day, you were gonna get killed. That was just the way it was gonna be. But they seem to just go slightly underneath you. But anyways, finished there with a Wing Legend. Just slightly under a vanilla Wing Legend there. Ended with like 14,405. And we'll just take this right into the next gameplay. Keep talking about this plane because I just really enjoy this plane. I've been kind of busy this week, as you guys may have noticed. If I haven't really been putting out much content. Unfortunately, World of Warplanes is not my primary job. I'm in the military, and yeah, just get busy every now and then. But this weekend should be pretty good. There's that defeatist attitude. I don't like, you know, when you lose the game before you even start. But I feel his pain, and when I say that, I mean I feel his pain with this stupid ass map. This Albion map trump card is garbage. There's no way to put it. It is absolutely garbage. And here we're facing a guy who's pretty much solo queued. He gets to face a platoon or a flight on, in my opinion, the worst map in the game. There's only one other that's just as bad. There's a version of Albion that has a single mining plant, a single command center, a single garrison. And it's played at like tier 10. You're talking 3 caps at a tier 10 game. It's garbage. Absolute garbage. Anyways, this one's just as bad. This is tier 6. And there's 2 command centers and 2 mining plants. Who do you think's going to win there? One, their planes aren't fast enough to get to our command centers before we have, you know, a solid lead on them. So here we are. You know, we took our command center. We're going south right now. We're going to take that command center. Sarge Slaughter, I don't know what plane he's playing right now. But this is not fair. It really isn't. I mean, it's not as bad now that the heavies come down here and actually go here right away, which is new. They used to not do that. The enemy bots would just kind of ignore these command centers like they didn't exist, which they don't do anymore. So thank God for that, right? But at the same point, they're kind of coming in and feeding us, so it's just not good. Once anybody gets 2 command centers early in a game, there's only one way that's going to go. Same with missile base. It would be just the same as having like 2 military bases here. I mean, garbage. I would love to see a game mode where it's nothing but garrisons with like 1 or 2 airfields, and just get rid of these very, you know, linear maps that we have. I don't like spawning into a game and going, okay, well this one's over because we spawned on this side. Granted, have I been on the opposite side and have we won? Sure, but that is in the extreme circumstance where either A, someone on the enemy team is playing bad and it's 2v1, or B, our bots are just magnificent, which don't even get me started on bot. Bot disparity. You have bots that have 3 skills, so we've seen, as you can select in the training room. The bots have 3 different skill levels, and why? Why have 3 different skill levels of bots? I understand you want to try and give, you know, the edge to some people, and I don't know if they have some secret, you know, rating system that's judging us and selecting what bots we're gonna get, etc., etc., etc. But good lord, like in a game that demands balance, if you're gonna put bots in this game, the one thing you can do to balance the game, and you have direct control of it, is the bots. And to me, there's no better way to balance something than just give everybody equal whatever, right? But it is whatever. Or even just knock it down to 2. Make it so, hey, you get bots with slightly more edge if you solo queue and you get faced against a flight. I don't know. There's something you can do out there wargaming. But the bots are dumb. And this map, really, really dumb. If you're watching this wargaming, please, dear God. I don't know why in this latest patch you guys have wanted to push these maps. I remember when 2.0 first dropped, you know, even before Albion and all these other game modes, these maps were almost non-existent. I never came across these maps. And it seems like with the latest patch, the push for these maps, they are just so prevalent in my games for the day. I could play 20 games and probably 15 maps are going to be on a linear type map. That's not fun. That's not engaging gameplay. Nobody likes that. Make it a game mode. Make this a game mode if that's what you really are aiming for and you want us to experience this, sure, but we just want balance. We want an equal playing field. You know, this game is World of Warplanes, not World of, you know, broken ass maps that finish the game for you before you even get to play. And there's certain maps, you know, at high tiers that have like the score will cap out at 600. Again, nobody likes a game that ends super early, especially on those maps. I think it's on Road to Rome, and the game will end and it's got like a mining plant. Like, who wants a game that's going to end at 600 and it has a mining plant? You're talking 3-4 minute games. We just had a guy post an HVAR, the new record for a victory, I believe. He was at like 2 minutes and 59 seconds for a victory. The game was over 2 minutes and 59 seconds in. I don't know about you, but I can't do much in 2 minutes and 59 seconds unless I'm flying a GA, right? Please fix these things. Just think about it. Like, nobody, you know, 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes is perfect average game time. I'm sure Wargaming, you have enough data by now. If you take a look at, you know, the amount of people playing, which isn't a lot on NA, but I'm sure there is on other servers. Just look at the average game time of how long people are taking on these versions of these maps. If it's significantly shorter than the average game, maybe you need to do something to tune that out. Get rid of the command centers, get rid of the mining plants, replace them with a generic thing, get rid of them completely. I don't care what you do. Make these games last longer. You get to have more fun, you generate higher scores, you get more experience, you get more credits. This game, you know, the way we get paid out in this economy is it's based on, you know, obviously your damage, your performance, and you're going to get more experience and more credits that way. And the only way to do that is to have the time to do it. So I think there's a lot of good players out there. They just don't have the time to be good in a game. Some people, you know, might have a bad start and they might have a strong finish. You know, it happens. Um, so again, just make the games last longer. That's all I can ask. Anyways, that was my rant for the day, for the week, hopefully. Just had to get that off my chest. I apologize if you're sitting through this and you're like, man, this guy is just bitching a lot. I don't normally bitch as much as I can, you know what I mean? I really don't. I generally really thoroughly enjoy this game, so don't ever let my videos mislead you to thinking that I don't. I play this over World of Tanks right now, even with World of Tanks' frontline mode that is supposedly awesome. I haven't tried it yet. But I love the economy in this game, and I just generally like planes better than tanks. So I play this game more than probably any game that I have. Remember what I said at the beginning of the game? How their heavies were feeding those command centers? That mosquito, same mosquito from the beginning of the game, came back and, you know, just kind of performed at suboptimal bot level. And he got, you know, he just fed us the command center there. That's the stuff I'm talking about. If an enemy plane comes into my command center, have a purpose. Don't just have the mosquitoes fly in. The mosquito has bombs and rockets. Have him come and do some attacks. In fact, do heavy fighter bots even use their ordnance? Do they carry their ordnance? I haven't seen a mosquito or a hornet or anything like that go around and drop their ordnance on a cap. If you have, please let me know. That was a pretty interesting stall maneuver right there by the P-47. If you saw that, he stalled out. He was coming in. He wasn't moving at all in the sky, and then all of a sudden his stall corrected his airplane right into my path. So if that was intentional, good job, man. You almost got me there. If your guns would have just hit. But really cool maneuver, if that's what you're aiming for. Killing a 109F here. I almost feel dirty when I kill 109Fs. Just because the lack of everything on a 109F, right? But look at this furball. That is awesome. Absolutely fun. I love things like this when I can be in the middle of like 6-7 aircraft and just circle around with them. This is why I enjoy turn fighters a little bit more than I do my attackers and my bombers and whatnot. You don't get this kind of gameplay in a attacker unless you're flying an IL-10M. And then that plane's just broken as hell, right? So just deleted half the planes, going for the Spitfire, but if you look, we just ticked 800. So that is it for the Spitfire V DB 605. I picked up the Cozhito medal. Probably mispronounced that very badly, as usual. And Wing Legend, Flying Paladin, etc. Just over 14,000. That medal, which I wasn't pronouncing correctly, I believe is for killing 5 aircraft after Squall. So this plane is just a monster. So let's go. I'm going to go down the line one last time with the comparison. I've got the comparison tool up on another monitor here. These planes are identical. The Spitfire 5, the Spitfire V DB 605 are identical, minus top speed. On a fully upgraded Spitfire 5, it gets 640. And this DB605 gets 600. The altitude performance on a DB605 is 2000 compared to the Spitfire 5 regulars, 1400. And the Spitfire 5 regular gets slightly higher rate of climb at 122, 0.30, and the DB605 gets 116.90. So would I recommend buying this aircraft to anybody? Of course. This plane is a monster. It generates credits, it prints them. You know, I don't like to say things print credits. I've never lost credits in this plane. I don't think you would. So if you're out there, you're looking for a good tier 6 premium, this might be the one you want to pick up. I apologize for the super long video. Again, I haven't done stuff in a while. Just felt like doing something for y'all. I'll be doing something this weekend most likely. But anyways, that was the Spitfire 5 DB605. Thank you for watching. Everybody have a good day. Thank you.